Understanding the US Constitution and its amendments can be daunting, but what if we told you it doesn't have to be? We're combining the power of memes to make these fundamental laws understandable. Get comfy, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and if you think it should have been a different meme for our explanation, help us out in the comments below. Now let's go. First Amendment, freedom is your jam. The First Amendment is like the ultimate playlist where you get to choose the songs. It gives you freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and the right to petition the government. Imagine having a remote control where you can switch channels, mute, or play whatever you want. You can speak your mind, follow any religion, or none at all. Write what you want, gather with your friends for a cause, and tell the government if you think something's wrong. It's your freedom mixtape. Second Amendment, right to bear arms, or got protection. The Second Amendment is like having a security system for your house. It gives you the right to own and carry weapons. Think of it as your personal defense plan, whether it's protecting yourself from bad guys or, back in the day, hunting for food. It's about having the means to stay safe. Just remember, with great power comes great responsibility, so use it wisely. Third Amendment, no sleepovers, government. What if your least favorite teacher decided to crash at your place for a week without asking? The Third Amendment says, no way, Jose. It prevents the government from forcing you to house soldiers in your home during peacetime. It's like having a no unwanted guests policy, ensuring you don't have to share your space with anyone unless you give the okay. Fourth Amendment, keep out, privacy matters. The Fourth Amendment is your privacy shield. It's like having a do not disturb sign on your door. It protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures. So, if the authorities want to search your stuff, they need a darn good reason and a warrant. Without the Fourth Amendment, you'd probably have someone wanting to go through your phone without permission. The Fourth Amendment makes sure they can't do that without a legit reason. Fifth Amendment, fair play and no double jeopardy. The Fifth Amendment is all about fairness and protecting your rights when you're accused of a crime. It's like having a referee in a game to ensure no foul play. You have the right to remain silent. Yes, like in cop shows, which means you don't have to say anything that might incriminate you. You also can't be tried for the same crime twice. That's double jeopardy. And you get due process, which means the government has to follow the rules before taking away your life, liberty, or property. It's fair play all the way. Sixth Amendment, the speedy and fair trial, or don't keep me waiting, dude. You're at a concert and you've been waiting forever for your favorite band to come on stage. Frustrating, right? Well, the Sixth Amendment is like a VIP pass, ensuring you don't have to wait forever for your trial. If you're accused of a crime, you get a speedy trial. Not only that, you also get a fair trial, which means no shady stuff behind the scenes. It's like a game of Among Us, where everyone gets a fair shot to prove who's innocent and who's the imposter. Plus, you get to know who's accusing you and why. Kind of like finding out who's been spreading rumors about you and confronting them. And if you can't afford a lawyer, one will be provided for you, like a free upgrade to the pro version of your favorite app. Neat, huh? Seventh Amendment. The jury's in on it. Now let's talk about the Seventh Amendment. Think of it as calling in your squad to settle a big debate. If you're involved in a civil case, that's fancy talk for non-criminal disputes, like suing someone because they broke your prized possession, you have the right to a jury. It's like having your friends decide who gets the last slice of pizza, but more official. So, if the issue involves a lot of money, you don't just get one judge to decide your fate. You get a group of everyday people, aka the jury, who will listen and help make a fair decision. It's all about democracy in action, people. Eighth Amendment, no cruel and unusual punishments. Ever get grounded for something minor and feel like it's the end of the world? The Eighth Amendment is here to make sure that doesn't happen on a legal scale. It says no to excessive bail, fines, and cruel or unusual punishment. So, if you steal a candy bar, you won't end up with a life sentence or have to pay $1 million. It's like ensuring you don't get a week's detention for being 2 minutes late to class. Fairness rules. Ninth Amendment. More rights than you can count. Okay, the Ninth Amendment is like your ultimate cheat code. It basically says that just because certain rights aren't listed in the Constitution doesn't mean you don't have them. It's like having extra lives in a video game that aren't mentioned in the manual. They're still there. You just have to know about them. This amendment is a safety net, ensuring that people's rights are protected even if they aren't specifically mentioned. Think of it as having hidden bonuses in your favorite game. You've got more power than you might realize. 10th Amendment. Power to the people and the states. The 10th Amendment is all about balance. It says that any powers not given to the federal government are left to the states or the people. Basically, if you're part of a group project, everyone will have to have their specific tasks. The 10th Amendment makes sure the federal government doesn't try to take over everything like a bossy group leader. Instead, it shares power with the states and the people. 11th Amendment. No state drama in federal court. Again, picture those two friends arguing over who gets the last slice of pizza. The 11th Amendment is like saying, hey, you can't bring your pizza fight to the federal court. It means that a person from one state can't sue another state in federal court. This helps keep state-level disputes out of the federal courtroom, making sure everyone handles their own business. 12th Amendment, the election do-over. So you're voting for class president and vice president, but the system is so confusing that it ends up in chaos. The 12th Amendment is like the school deciding to use a better voting system. It changed the way we elect the president and vice president to make it clearer and smoother. Now, instead of voting for two people on one ticket, you vote separately for each, ensuring that they're a dynamic duo ready to lead the country. 13th Amendment. Bye-bye slavery. The 13th Amendment is a game changer, like the ultimate power-up in a video game. It officially ended slavery in the United States. Think of it as the moment when freedom became a reality for everyone, breaking the chains of oppression. It's a massive milestone in history that said, no more to one of humanity's greatest injustices. 14th Amendment. Equal protection, baby. The 14th Amendment is like the ultimate fairness policy. It says, everyone born or naturalized in the U.S. is a citizen and deserves equal protection under the law. This amendment will force your school to decide that every student gets the same treatment, no favorites or special privileges. This amendment ensures everyone gets the same rights and protections, making the land of the free truly inclusive. 15th Amendment. Voting rights for all. Well, all men initially. Think of the 15th Amendment as expanding the party invitation list. It gave African American men the right to vote, saying no one could be denied the right to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. It's like your school saying everyone can vote for prom, king, and queen, not just a select group. It was a big step toward making voting more inclusive. 16th Amendment. Taxes, yay. Okay, taxes aren't exactly thrilling, but the 16th Amendment is important. It's like when your parents explain why you have to do chores. The 16th Amendment gave Congress the power to collect income taxes. It's how the government gets money to pay for things like roads, schools, and other public services. Think of it as everyone chipping in to keep things running smoothly. Not the most exciting, but definitely necessary. 17th Amendment. Pick your senators. Before the 17th Amendment, you couldn't get to choose your team captains in a game. Instead, your teacher would pick them for you. The 17th Amendment is like that. It changed the way we choose U.S. senators. Before this amendment, state legislatures picked the senators, but thanks to the 17th Amendment, now we, the people, get to vote directly for our senators. It's like getting a say in who represents you on the big stage. 18th Amendment. Prohibition Party. Pooper. Picture this. The ultimate party where suddenly someone bans all the sodas. That's kind of what the 18th Amendment did. It banned the production, sale, and transportation of alcohol in the US. It was called prohibition, and it turned out to be a pretty unpopular move, leading to bootlegging. It was like everyone was trying to find secret ways to keep the party going. 19th Amendment. Women can vote, finally. The 19th Amendment is a major win for equality. It's like finally letting everyone play in the game. This amendment gave women the right to vote, ending a long struggle for women's suffrage. Again, in a school election, your school finally lets everyone, regardless of gender, vote for the student council. It was a huge step forward for fairness and equality. Which amendment do you think should have been made earlier than its actual date? Share us your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. 20th Amendment. Let's get moving. The 20th Amendment is like your school deciding to start the school year earlier, so you're not waiting around all summer. It changed the dates for the start of presidential and congressional terms to January instead of March. This amendment made sure there was less downtime between the election and when new leaders took office, speeding things up to get the show on the road. 21st Amendment. Parties back on. Remember the 18th Amendment that banned alcohol? The 21st Amendment is like the ultimate never mind. It repealed or canceled out prohibition, bringing alcohol back into legal circulation. It's like your school saying, okay, sodas are back on the menu. This amendment showed that sometimes laws need to be changed when they don't work out as planned. 22nd Amendment. Presidential term limits. You'd probably hate it if your favorite class president could be re-elected forever. The 22nd Amendment is like setting term limits, so one person can't hold too much power for too long. It limits the president to 2 terms in office or a maximum of 10 years. This helps ensure fresh leadership and prevents anyone from becoming a permanent boss. 23rd Amendment. DC gets a say. You're working on a group project, but you're not getting a vote on what you're working on. You'd probably be mad, right? The 23rd Amendment fixed that for residents of Washington, D.C. It gave them the right to vote in presidential elections. It's like finally giving that quiet kid in the corner a voice in the class decisions. Now, D.C. has electors in the Electoral College, just like the states. 24th Amendment. No more poll taxes. Think of the 24th Amendment as saying no entry fee to vote. Before this amendment, some states charged a poll tax to vote, which meant some people couldn't afford to vote. This amendment made poll taxes illegal, ensuring everyone could vote without having to pay. It's like making sure everyone can play the game without needing to buy an expensive ticket. 25th Amendment. Presidential backup plan. The 25th Amendment is like having a solid backup plan for your school play. It spells out what happens if the president can't do their job. If the president resigns, gets sick, or anything else happens, the vice president takes over. It's all about making sure there's always someone in charge, so the show goes on without a hitch. 26th Amendment. Vote at 18. The 26th Amendment is like a rite of passage. It lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. So, if you're old enough to drive, graduate high school, and be called an adult, you're old enough to vote. It's like your school saying, if you're old enough to go to prom, you're old enough to vote for prom king and queen. It gave more young people a voice in their government. 27th Amendment. Pay raises on hold. The 27th Amendment is all about fairness with money. It says that if Congress votes to give themselves a pay raise, it doesn't take effect until after the next election. Think of it as making sure your allowance increase doesn't kick in until after you've finished all your chores for the month. This way, voters get a say before any pay changes happen. We hope you had as much fun watching this as we did creating it. Understanding the Constitution is crucial, but who says it can't also be a blast? Stay informed, stay entertained, subscribe, and until next time.